Hey, what's up, YouTube? Well, oh, thanks, Java Updater. Ah, what's up, YouTube? Welcome to Play It Painted Live. Man, why can't I just don't no one on? Yeah, what's up, YouTube? Welcome to Play It Painted Live. Just trying to get a little ready here for another feed. This time, we got a mess on our table, and I think that's pretty normal, but we're just going to work on a few things. I haven't done a live stream this week, and I have to apologize. I was hoping to have a more, say, focused live stream, but it's been a difficult time kind of getting projects to behave in such a rhythm that I had before, where you could tune into this channel and have a reasonably good chance of seeing me actually work on something start to finish. Do you remember those days? Because I remember those days. But let's walk you through what we're working on. And I should also point out that my camera setup right now is upside down because I gotta fix it. So that's why the table looks like an absolute mess. Okay, so anyways, how does my live stream thing here look? It looks like it looks okay. How do you know how do you know how many people are watching? How do you know? What? Is there a live? I don't know. Live control room? I don't know. I'm just going to leave this open, and I have no idea how many people are viewing. So if you are viewing, say hi. I don't know. It's weird. I think they changed it again. They're like, wait a minute, that was way too convenient to do it that way. So anyway, let's get to it. Okay, so as you guys know, I've been painting. I think last time I actually painted a model on this feed was X-Men. I painted a Rogue model. I still need to finish X-Men. I also painted Ozymandias. Hopefully you guys saw that video. That was a lot of fun. And I'm gonna get into what that means for me in the immediate future. And then I also bought, between now and then, I bought this set of Mansions of Madness second edition. Bought it for myself, and I was like, I want to play a good co-op game. Mansions of Madness second edition looks like they get to a full co-op game, and they took a lot of that work out of being the innkeeper out of it. So I bought a set, and you can see I've been basing it. So they've been basing that set. The detectives I'm pretty disappointed in. I don't think those sculpts are very good. But, whatever. It's Fantasy Flight. You get a lot of minis, and you get a good game. And then the monster minis look good. Sure why she's like leaning back, like, hey, like that one. But anyways, so that's what we're looking at. I'm going to put these away right now, actually, because this is not what I want to work on, even though they do look quite cool. Yes, let's show you more of the desk. How about that? Maybe not so much of my lap. You guys don't want to know what's going on down there. So I do have the camera in a slightly different position right now. I'm actually thinking about maybe just putting it like a full. What if I put it like a full vertical? That would be kind of tricky, but I think I could do it. Like, what if I did that? Would it totally screw things up? Yes, it would. Yeah, of course it would. That would be way too convenient. What if I did this? What if it was like that? And then you're just actually looking down on my, like you're actually getting a more of a true top-down view. It's just the opposite side of that. Maybe that works. Let's try it. Let's see what happens. I'll have to move it occasionally to get access to my keyboard and all that kind of stuff. But anyways, because then I can, then you can actually look at stuff like that, which would be kind of cool, right? Okay, so I'm going to put these away for now. And I was like fully intent on painting some of this stuff up because the monsters are cool. The detectives are bleh. These guys, again, these cultist guys, I feel like the basing is going to be pretty cool, though. Because you see what I did with the basing? That's kind of cool. That should look pretty neat. These should look nice and scenic. Mobs, that's so cool. Rioters, they call them. Rioters are cool. Look at that. Look at these guys. Look at that. Not my Cthulhu. Like those guys. They're super mad. They're starting their own protest, you know? They're going to demand all the gray miniatures leave. Okay. Let's just clean this up. So I will get back to them because I don't do that. Like I don't build and prime all this crap because I had to rebase all these dudes. I'm not gonna not come back to that, and we are gonna play. Well, I will play this game. I might play it solo on this channel because nobody loves me. What's the matter with people? Can't get people to play. I can get people to play Scythe with me. People at the LGS, they'll come and play Scythe with me. Maybe I can get people to play this with me. So sad, isn't it? Just like, oh, someone play a game with me, please. Whatever. Okay. I'm going to really have to seal these to get them to not, like, chip and destroy. But whatever. So they're going to sit in there for a while. Probably a couple of weeks because I got stuff I need to do. And I'm always a business before pleasure type guy. It's been a while since I've done a commission proper, but I do have a commission in, and we need to work on it. Yeah, look at that. That does not help, does it? Yeah. It used to cover the whole, used to just see green, right? You can see green the whole, look, you almost do. What's going on? There you go. You kind of see green the whole way through. But I need to stamp some bases. I need to find some bases that I can stamp. It looks like I can stamp this dude and this. And that, I don't need that. I need stuff like this. I need like mills that I can stamp. Like that's a good one. I think it's 2 of these and 2 30 mils. So let's see what I have for 30 mils that I can stamp. If I can't stamp them, I'm gonna have to use a pre-stamped base, which is okay. It's just not as good as fresh base. And the reason why stamping a fresh base is better is because it allows you to actually let the footprint of the model, you know, sink in and contribute. So we got those. These are not good. We got all kinds of wood plank bases. Way too many wood plank bases. I think I'm going to have to paint a fish team just because of that. Ridiculous. Ridiculous. Let's see. I'm not even going to. I have this whole mess of things. Oh, look. That's a good. I need these plate bases, and I have 1, 2, 3, 4 of those, which is perfect. I also have 2 of these already stamped forest bases, also good. But let's you know what? I wonder if I have 2 of these already stamped, then I won't stamp any bases and we'll just build. Let's see. Let's play the base lottery here. See what I got. So if you're just joining us, welcome to Play It Painted Live. I can't tell how many viewers I have anymore because thanks a lot, YouTube. format again. Oh, that's what I need to buy. I need to buy, okay. Mental note, remind me to buy 30 mil weird bases. I need to do that. Anyway, let's keep going. No. I don't do a whole lot of pre-stamped 40 mil, do I? Doesn't look like it. Sometimes you just stamp a bunch of... None of these look very good. Just made a giant mess here on my desk of all these like bases. Oh. And none of these are very good. Again, with the wood plank bases. All my pre-stamped stuff seems to be wood plank, so making a fish team would be a great idea. Just paint up a fish team and sell it. I mean, it's reliable. Every single time I've like put a fish team up on eBay, it will always do well. I just get tired of painting fish team. I don't know. It's not bad. Wow, I had no pre-stamped 40 mil woodland bases. So we're going to make some. And since we're going to make some, I'm just going to make brand new 30 mil bases. I just have to be sure, before I put these away, I just have to be sure that that's what this calls for, this particular kit. Okay? So if you're just joining us, welcome to Play It Painted Live. Let us know what you're painting or what you should be painting. Tonight, we are working on stuff. We're just, again, I was working on a big project for me, and then a couple commission opportunities showed up, and I got to take them opportunities, man. You got to keep that paper rolling in. I do have, I put my Alchemist team back up on eBay. $200 asking price for it, and it is the full roster plus dice plus like the models alone. It's almost $300 worth of models. We're talking pre-painted Alchemist miniatures for that much. I don't know what else I can do, man. I don't know what else I can do for you guys. All right. Get some gloves. And we're just going to stamp some bases. Whoa. And I'm going to pour myself a drink, too. Should probably pour myself a drink before we get too messy. So I'm working on the Harvest, the Heralds of the Winter's Moon set. So here's the miniatures. Looks like we got 30 mil, 40 mil. There's 3 30 mil. So I need a third forest base, which I'm pretty sure I've got. Let me dig up that third forest base. Because I don't, well, whatever. Whatevs, yo. So all I have to stamp is 1 40 mil forest base? That sucks. That's not good. Oh man, don't make me dump this thing again. Oh boy. This is not a good feed. Whatever. I'm sorry, guys. Look at this mess. I thought for sure it was 2 and 2, but no, it's only 1 40 mil. So that's all I gotta stamp is the 1 40 mil. I've stamped 30 mils. Dude, I know I have. I know I have another 30 mil. I didn't think that. Uh-oh. Okay, I might be stamping 2 bases. Looks like it. It's not been a very good day, my friends. But we ride through. We do what we can. Give a middle finger to the sky, and then continue on our merry way. That's kind of how I handle rough days, is I just stick a middle finger up in the air and then continue living my life. Feel free to judge. There it is. All right. That's the base that I'm going to stamp. So I'm going to stamp a single 40 mil base. So it's not going to be a lot of all right, let's do it. Let's do it. Okay. Also, gonna pour ourselves a little beverage here. Here's my little sake drinking box. Because I have a really nice bottle of sake. I got myself one for my birthday, and I only had one cup of this. This is I don't really know how to pronounce the word. It's just moo, but it's yaga something, I forget. But anyways, this is my favorite sake that I can buy here locally. So I'm going to pour myself a little helping of that, because why not? Oh, it's so nice. Just fragrant, nice sipping sake. Perfect for a Friday night after a rough day. Kanpai, people. Oh, that's nice. It's so nice. Okay. Gotten a few people to drink sake. Like I've turned people onto the sake drinking. Okay. Because if you pick good sake, like you can have hot sake. Hot sake is what you usually have with dinner. You know, you might have sushi, sake, and you might do that. I really like the sipping sake and colder stuff. We're gonna. See, I don't even need that much. I'm only gonna need that much. This is the epoxy sculpt. I need actually need a new one because almost out of this stuff. This is great stuff though. So 2-part epoxy. You know, just like your green stuff for gray stuff. And we're gonna mix this all up. This camera angle is kind of cool. It's actually way more comfortable for me. And it allows me, like, I can be all the way on the edge here. Just move the camera that way. Like, I can be very close to the edge. And we can deal with it. So you just kind of mix this this putty in your fingers, about 30 seconds or so. It'll get a little bit warm. And that's just the epoxy activating, right? Okay, right? So now You only need about that much. You only need about, if you filled the gap in your base, you only need about the size of a pea to do one of these 40 mil, right? Because we're gonna spread this pretty thin across the top. Right, I'm just gonna make sure it's nice and filled in. We'll stamp this in a second. And then I'm going to make a couple more here. And again, you can go like, for 30 mil, go like super small, like the size of a kernel of corn is about right. And just make sure it's, and the thinner you do this, to a degree, the better it turns out. It's been my experience. So you don't want to like this one's overdone. That's too much. You want it to look like that. That's pretty good. That's a good looking base. I think we are just going to do fresh ones. Let's just do fresh bases. What do you say? What do you say? We got nothing to do tonight but sip sake. We can sing the songs we like to sing. We can talk the talk we like to talk. It's late at night. The kids are asleep. The wife is in bed. We can say what we need to say, damn it. It's been a long week, my friends. Perkins Dearborn. Sounds good, man. What's up, Perkins Dearborn? It's a cool name, actually. And I like the avatar. Your avatar, it looks like Andre the Giant and Hulk Hogan made love to a chili pepper. And that's what your avatar looks like. If it's something else, please tell me what it is, because it's cool. But to me, that's what I think. I think of like Hulk Hogan and Andre the Giant making love to a red chili pepper and having a love baby. All right. I told you it was late at night, and I'm here. I will take a drink from we will have a little sake for each new user that pops on and has a comment, because I like that. So see, sometimes you end up with like extra, you end up with extra putty, and with your extra putty, you just, actually, you know what I'm going to do? The extra putty, I'm just going to go ahead and stamp a fresh one. Might as well. And I'm just going to stretch it across here. You have to be careful though, because when you stamp this, it all like squeezes down there, and it'll leave a dent if you push it too hard. Actually, that one's already leaving a dent. We can't use this. We can't use that. I'm using Epoxy Sculpt. I'll show you the packaging. Epoxy Sculpt. All right. But I should have another 30 mil ready to roll. Some ugly 30 mils on here. Oh man. Maybe not. That's what I got. Huh. All right, whatever. Whatever. So I'm going to have to stamp that. See, the weird bases are a little bit different. They're just a little bit different. Man, I'm going to have to do this the old way, the expensive way, using epoxy putty. I mean, plastic putty. And I hate doing that because this stuff is so nice and you don't want to waste it on something like this. See that? You don't want to waste that. It's good stuff. That is the good stuff. But whatever. No, that's not even bridging the gap there. Plastic putty is this stuff is super hard to find too. Like I check my LGS every week for this to see if they have it, because that makes life instead of liquid green stuff. So instead, what I'm going to do then is I'm going to use white stucco to fill in the other ones. Oh, look at that. One, and it's decent. I mean, it's not great, but it'll work. That's a TNG. Okay, so we'll just do 2, and I'll stamp another 40 then out of this. So I don't even have to mess with these right now. All right. So I'll stamp. Ooh, not quite enough to do a 40 without having a little bit of interference from that echo. But that's okay, because of the nature of the base that the style of base that we're stamping, it's really not going to be an issue. But I don't have to break out the white stucco right now anyways. I could break out the white stucco just to fill these. Yeah, screw it. Let's do it. It's already here. I'll just show you guys the whole process so that you can see it, like cooking show style, where it's got different little aspects to it, right? So I use the white stucco because that's cheaper and comes in a big tub like this. And it looks like that, it's like really, really thick Jello. Smush it on there. See? Just kind of smash it in there. And then just let it. All you're really trying to do is just fill that gap. It's going to shrink a little bit, so be aware of that. Right? And then you get this gunk on the bottom. Just wipe that clean. So we'll do that. Do they dry about the same, or do you need to do it in stages? No, the white stucco dries to plastic putty. The white stucco dries a lot slower. So you gotta, I don't know. You just the white stucco it's a much sloppier material, but I'm using it as cheap filler because it is significantly cheaper. You know, burning through whole bottles of plastic putty that are super hard to find. And again, you want to use plastic putty as more of like your liquid green stuff to fill gaps and actually do the work of cleaning up your model. Whereas this is, you know, you could use white stucco as its own base texture, which is actually pretty good use for it, especially if you're doing aquatic bases. It's quite nice for that. Like you can get a good ocean texture. My son's, I did a Gamera style Reaper Bones Mini. So you see how it's going to dry, and the stuff is pretty sloppy. It's fairly messy. Okay, so that's going to dry there. And while that's drying, I'm going to stamp these bases. We'll set those aside. And we'll stamp these 3 bases. We're going to use Happy Seppuku Forest Floor Stamp, which was one of those stamps that I hated originally. Really cool stamp. So here are the 5 stamps that I have that I really love. The Flagstone one is really cool. The ever popular narrow wood plank base. That's good for showgirls. It's good for fishermen, for docks. This is the one I use the most, actually, herringbone brick, because it's great for Wild in the Streets. It's great for Batman. You can use it for Guild Ball. Like my Union models are on that style stamp, and it's awesome. All my sci-fi Relic Knights engineer stuff, steampunk, goes on this random steel plate. This is beautiful. And then there's finally this. So the interesting thing about Forest Floor Base is that you have different sections that you can use. Like if you piled on a lot of putty, like put it on these palm leaves because they look nice, or the branches. You have like a tree stump over here. There's a lot going on there. So you can choose where you want to do stuff. So what I normally do is I take a little water and spread it around the base, right? Around the stamp. What is good for Weirdman? Yeah, that's, you know, all my my showgirl stuff is on that. So I'm gonna put that right there. Press down fairly hard, and there you go. It doesn't look like much, a little branch there, but you know, it does. This stuff does look good when you dress it up a little bit. There's the other one going down. See? Just getting like forest floor texture. This one's kind of heavy, so I'm going to use the leaf, because the palm leaf is really characteristic. Like you can make the palm leaf out, and there it is right there. And you see how it's kind of flat enough to where you can still place the model on it, and it's going to look cool. Branch on this one. Yeah, hard to see all white. Sorry. But like there, I'm going to tilt it so you can see the branch and stuff there. So we'll let those dry. I think that's all the stamping I need to do for right now. And let's celebrate that step with some more sake. I didn't say kampai. How rude of me. Okay. So now let's go ahead and build the minis. We're going to pin the minis, and I want to use my bit driver because I am a lazy bastard. So hold on 1 second while I get my Okay, how long do you need to let it dry? Well, epoxy sculpt usually starts drying. It starts getting really hard 3 hours. You want to go. The way I do this is you want to go about 30 to 45 minutes after you stamp it, and then to attach the miniatures, because it'll still be soft, which means you'll be able to kind of, you know, press the miniature down firmly into it and be able to, you know, so that you have perfect contact with the surface. So 30 to 45 minutes, you could probably get away with an hour and it would be fine. And we're gonna use my bit driver here instead of the pin vise, because the pin vise kind of drives me insane. I don't like the squeaking. I don't like having to deal with, you know, cramped hands and all that crap. this off my pin vise. The other advantage to using right, so the mini doesn't look like it's floating over the base. Now I might get a little bit of that on this base because this base is a little over stamped. It's just too thick, but I'll figure it out. It'll be all right. All right. So the other nice thing about the bit driver is you can use really, really small bits. So if you're pinning the really annoying stuff like infinity, just really tiny joints, you can use way smaller than what I'm about to use here. Okay. And I like to work from most annoying pins to least annoying pins. And it looks like this guy sure has a lot of bits to him. The wolf, that looks like a nightmare. Let's look at the wolf. Let's look at this. Wow, that looks really bad. So it's got a rock. Where does it attach? Do you want the wolf on the rock? I mean, I guess the client's paying for it. So I guess I'm assuming he would want the rock. I don't know. I mean, it would look fine on this, but why does it have to be? The rock kind of blows it. If I known that, I wouldn't have stamped anything. I just shoved it on top of the thing and then put some, that's annoying. Like I might as well put it on this and just put some gravel around it. Okay, let's do that. That's like way. Okay. Yeah, we are going to end up doing that. What a waste. So I'm actually going to have to clear the white stucco out of there before it dries. What a waste. Whatever. So now I have extra, but that's okay. Good thing I caught that while it was all wet. So we'll do that. And it's got this little leg here. It's just a weird attachment. It just goes there. There's really no reason to pin that either. But I will do it because I don't care. Because I don't follow trains of logic like that. Let's move you guys a little closer here so you can see. So I'm going to file this flat. This is jumping over rough terrain. It's fine. Yeah, I could have used I could have used this yellow base, but it's all right. I can pin Carla too. I get to pin Carla. In the Streets miniature, which I should have just painted tonight. Let's see. Maybe that will happen tonight. Unless I get too drunk off of sake. Obviously, you want to go super, super slow when you're doing this. And always constantly check the depth of the drill to make sure that you've gone deep enough. You want to go deep enough so that the pin can rest in there, but you don't want to go so deep that you end up drilling a hole all the way through. So with a body like this wolf, these pins are going to be super short. They just need to be long enough to bridge a gap here and there. Okay, and then I have the pad of the foot here is where it's going to pin in. How do you check the angle of the pin? Honestly, flub it. I'll show you how I do this. It's not the most exact science. And it doesn't always work out great. Here's a really teeny little pin. Ooh. Speaking of weird angle, I don't want this to go, to go all the way through the foot. But I just need to have I need to have a groove big enough to sit a pin in there. And with how narrow this foot is, this is going to be a challenge. Much of a pin, sadly. That's just not very good. But I want it to go into the ankle, so I'm going to go super slow. That's what we got. Then I can drill this bad boy. I can go fairly aggressive there because I've got a long angle. Okay. This is why we always work from most annoying pinning job to least annoying pinning job. And it looks like that foot goes here. Wow, that's annoying. Actually, I'm going to drill all the way through this because I don't really have a choice. See? So I have to drill all the way through that. Okay. And then finally, the front of the wolf here. It's got this square, it's got this kind of trapezoid shaped notch. Just going to file that down a little bit. Yeah, I thought Guild Ball was moving to plastic, which I know they are with farmers and stuff. Young Theron is a one-piece mini. Let me show you my progress on Young Theron when I get to a point where I can do that. Okay. Let's start gluing. So, oof, man. Ooh, sometimes your glue gets that old. It's not fun to take the cap off anymore. Ooh. Oh, that's really on there. Yeah. This is a problem. Hold on. How many miniatures to a team? Oh, for Guild Ball, 6 miniatures. Exactly. 1 captain, 1 mascot. 4 players, 4 regular players. So it's a low model count game, which I really like. The models, the individual models, though, when they have games like that, tend to be pretty expensive. So beware of that. I'm going to need my vice grips. to open this. Like, this is serious stuff, man. Ugh. Thing I have vice grips. Woo. Okay. And we're going to cut some of this rod. Where's my triangle clippers? Here they are. Ooh, Canvas is here. We got another. Oh, okay. Yeah, Canvas. We'll drink for Canvas. Kampai, Canvas. Ah, that's so good. Okay. This is the best time to be drinking, too, because this is where we break out all the sharp objects. Okay. Actually, I want this. This pin is, and when I start gluing stuff, I usually go from the least stable pins to the most stable pins. So I'm going to start back here. I'm going to put that pin in there. Right? Because that pin is actually not sitting very well. I did the best I could with it, but so let's go ahead and glue this. So what I typically do is then I'll put all these pins in, and then I'm going to let this model dry before starting to trim the pins down and attaching pieces. And we'll start on the next miniature. I know this is exciting stuff. Remember when I used to paint on this show? And like really paint, like finished stuff? Like talking shit on my own show. I don't care. Okay. Looks like next in line for... Ooh, there's a lot of bits on this dude, too. These are all somewhat annoying, at least to a degree. Well, she's only 2 pieces. Let's do this guy. He looks cool. He's got a lot of bits to him. All right. Like, why is his head a separate piece? And you wouldn't... Oh, man. And there's a trophy. Where does... Oh, this just goes there? Yeah, this is annoying. This dude is going to be annoying to put together. What? And you got this. All right. And then that goes there. And this goes here. He just has a couple of knives. All right. Damn it. This guy is going to be annoying. Yeah, this is from Guild Ball. This is from the Winter Harvest Moon kit that has four miniatures in it. It's basically the expansion, the season 3 expansion for the hunters. All right. Okay, so here we go. So I always start with the smallest pieces first, because I hate pinning the smallest pieces, and then work my way up. So I'm going to make a little flat spot on the skull. Then I'm going to make a flat spot on the back of the head. Then I'm going to make flat spots on each arm. Oh, shoot. It's got to pin Carla, but Carla can wait. So let's go on Canvas. What are you working on, dude? Where did my bit driver go? All right, so it's about as far as I need to go. So there. Yeah, that's all I need to go. And then the pin on the head, again, also I don't have to go very far. Even though I got lots of room on the head. Works for the new 40K. So 40K is kind of going like Sigmar type scale, where it's more of a skirmish game. That's kind of cool. I can see how that's cool. I just don't ever see myself going back to 40K. I don't know. I'm just done with that universe, I guess. There's only so much like Emperor stuff I can do. The swolled up Space Marines and the asexual orcs. They kind of desexualized 40K for the most part. Because most of the factions are all pretty... I mean, the Eldar are basically impotent. The humans, they have billions and billions of humans, but they don't ever really go into why. They just throw them on the high planets and all this mess. And then you got the orcs, basically just spores, and the Tyranids are basically just a bunch of mess of stuff. And then really the only like sexual things are like, you know, Slaanesh and but even those are like fairly tame. I mean, if you look at the real world, sure, there are always like wars going on and all this kind of stuff, but really some of the biggest threats of supplication would be just, you know, one group's ability to outbreed another group. You know, and I'm sorry if this is an offensive topic, but it's true, man. Just saying. Switch to Infinity so I can field a faction with 10 miniatures or so and slowly go from there. Yeah. I used to love painting Infinity. I still have some Infinity stuff to paint, but it'll be a while till I go back to that. And not unless like somebody local hires me to do stuff. I used to do pretty well on like Infinity commissions. But those Infinity players, because they're not required to have painted stuff, always be like late paying me, and oh, you know, and so I'd finish their stuff super fast and it would look awesome, and I'd show it to them and I'd be like, well, you can't pay me, so I'm just going to take it home until you can pay me. I don't mean to sound disgruntled there, but, you know, I am a little bit. Okay. So I just drilled all the holes out for this thing. All right. How many pins? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pins for a model that's going to go on a 30 mil base. I thought Guild Ball was trying to do away with that, the excessive number of pins you need. Listen to me bitch about this, man. Where did that thing go? Ugh. Oh, there it is. Okay. All right. So now let's glue all the little bits and bobs. Where are you? I'm Oregon. I am in Southern California, my friend. Where this particular region, you have a hobby shop about every 15 miles or so. And then you kind of, and every shop has its like local sort of meta, what is popular at that shop. I'd say locally, I mean, obviously, X-Wing and GW still rule supreme overall. But you have, like locally, you have Infinity, Malifaux, Guild Ball, all kind of in equal numbers. Maybe I'd say Infinity, maybe a little bit more so than Malifaux and Guild Ball. It's hard to say. They're all pretty close, though. Online shopping. I'll resort to online shopping if they don't have what I want. Oh, that's a shallow pin. I need a longer pin than that. I'll resort to that if they don't have what I want, or if like an LGS, if like one of the LGSs makes me mad and I don't want to buy from them. It's happened on occasion. Because usually, like I'm like one of those guys that says you really should be buying from your LGS because, you know, especially if you play there, if you game there, you use the space. I think that's the right thing to do. But so I get a little bit preachy about that. I won't lie. But you know, if the LGS isn't a good LGS, then don't feel like you have to support them. No one has Infinity in Oregon. That's a bummer. All right. So this is Hearn, Seasoned Hearn or whatever. He has this little plate here. That's a giant ball in the middle of his ball. So you get that. Play that closed. That sucks. Do you still have like locals? Do you guys play at someone's house or something? Oh. It's more like this, isn't it? Yeah. Seattle, but the stores just have to focus on major games here as Oregon. You play at home. I actually have a gaming table, and I have so much terrain here that it would be, from that standpoint, it would be very, very easy to set up games here at home. The main issue I have is two little babies. So that can be very, very difficult to try to line up games when, you know, you don't know if babies are going to fall asleep or They're going to be screaming. If I have to help mom, kitchen table wife hates it. Yeah. I mean, my wife is not a fan of my hobby either, putting it mildly. 7-year-old and a 3-year-old, yep. Okay. So we're just gonna, so by the time I get back to putting the wolf together, all the glue and the pins should be fairly set. The weird like ball joint there. Yeah, I actually have like a really cool gaming table that my friend built specifically for me. It's kind of a housewarming gift when I bought this house last year. And, I've played one-player games on it, but we have not been able to have anyone over to do a proper 2-player miniatures game on it. Does that make me sad? Yes, it makes me super, super sad because it was a really nice gift and just a shame. Also kind of a shame that I'm out of frame a lot. Let's, there. You guys just don't get to see the bottom of the desk. Okay, there's that. Let's start drilling these. So it's how thick Hearn is. I feel pretty comfortable just kind of going at it. It's missing a leg. That's funny. Going at it like haphazardly like this. And just doing what I got to do. Okay. And then finally, right in the money shot. Look at that guy. I play 5th edition D&D and just do Theater of the Mind, so no miniatures are terrained. That's cool. I'm tempted to do D&D, but I want to do, the way I want to do D&D is I want to actually use my table for it and do it on a Hangout or stream or something like this. Get people on Google Hangouts, have their miniatures for them, build the maps and the terrain and all that stuff. The only problem is DM'd a game of D&D for a good 30 years or so. And I'm not entirely sold that would be the system I would do anyway. Okay. Let's start putting these pins in. Because I would love to do like, some a miniatures intensive D&D game. Because I have a ton of it in my house, so why wouldn't I want to do that? But I'm going to have to get into that point where that time of year where I'm going to have to start clearing stuff out. I have too much stuff. I always buy new stuff. Good about selling my old stuff. Or giving it away. Truth be told, I painted. Oh, hold on. Try Index Card RPG. Just dropped 10 days ago. Sounds cool. It's worth a look. So the other day I did that Ozymandias miniature, and it kind of reignited my love-hate relationship for Knight models, because I love their sculpts and I hate their casting. So I told my friends, I'm like, man, Batman is back on the menu. Let's play some Batman. I'll get over how, so I feel the game is somewhat subpar. It's like beer and pretzel type game, but I don't know. It still draws me in. Ooh, pinning the feet are gonna suck on this miniature. All right. Which is basically every miniature in Guild Ball has somebody on their tippy toes or somebody that just it's not going to be fun. So even though this miniature is only 2 pieces, the trick with her is going to be like she's standing on her tippy toes. So I'm going to have to drill through the arch of her foot here to get her to stay. And then she's got a cloak that just kind of, I think it just kind of sits right there. That's really annoying. And I can't get at this little nub, make it a true flat spot. And I don't want to switch pin sizes, but I may have to. Bushido models are a cunt to assemble. I've been so tempted to play Bushido. Cameron has been trying to get me to jump wagon. The thing plays on a 2x2. Like, what's not to love? And the miniatures look cool enough. And there's seems to be a really interesting universe. See if I can do this without drilling all the way through. Man, that's going to be a tricky pin. Small enough to play on my kitchen table. 2x2 is awesome. Like, you can play a 2 game just about anywhere. Okay, so actually, this foot here is the one I want to pin through. And specifically the arch of the foot. All right. Only 2 pins on this miniature. What's scary is when you're doing that on these, when you're doing that with Infinity models, because they're just, everything is just so fiddly on Infinity miniatures. And then when you do it on Knight miniatures, the joints are so bad. You're like, why am I even pinning this? This joint is not going to stay put. All right. Ooh, I put way too much glue there. Okay. All right, let's start putting these together. Where's my... Do that. Hold on. I need more sake. This is... I gotta celebrate every step, people. Ugh. Kanpai. Whoa. Oh, that was a lot. That was a lot at once. All right. Wolf. So what I typically do is I'll attempt to dry fit like that. That will tell me how much of the pin I need to clip. In this case, almost all of it. And then check the pin again. And even that, it's like still a little bit. Let's try this. There you go. Sake does not go quietly into the night. I gotta do something about that sake. I got it last week for my birthday. So I could just have something to sip, and didn't end up drinking it all. And it's good sake, and I don't want it to go to waste. Or you can judge me and say I'm just like drinking it up, man. But I don't do that. Drinker, honestly. I just pick my spots. Usually Kingdom Con, because everybody's drunk at Kingdom Con, so that's a thing. Okay. So there's the Doge. The box is perfect. Okay, so it looks like the Doge with the pin on the foot is actually going to go through the base of the miniature, so I have to trim that too. So I trim that way down, and then I'm going to also glue this. So I'm actually using the slot on the slotted base. Super rare for me to do stuff like that. Just not, that's not what I do most of the time. Uh-oh. And that stucco dried a little bit in there. That it dries in 30 minutes, that is a fat lie. So it's like this. Look at that. Okay. Look at that Doge. It fits pretty well there. Okay. Let's give him a minute, and then I'll actually put a little gravel on the base. All right. Next step, this dude. And I still can't believe this dude goes on a 30. All right. So here's how I typically do it. What glue am I using? I am using Special T, which is awesome stuff. Satellite City Hot Stuff is awesome glue. It was recommended to me by one of my viewers, and to get the Super T. And I have the Super T. It's super thin, and that stuff is super powerful. And I don't know why I keep using the word super, but it's a really good glue. Just needed something thicker. That was like their ultra thin glue. This guy's neck is really sticking out. He's a really cartoony looking guy. He's cool though. All right. So typically when you're putting together the miniature, I usually go with whatever has the shortest connection to the body, because trying to put the head on once you've got the arms in place is going to get really annoying. So this kind of goes like that. I'm going to do a little bit of a trim on the I think that's how the pose goes. Kind of like that. Yeah, like that. Sure. CA glue. This stuff is awesome super glue. And I don't use accelerant. I mean, it's great when it works, but a lot of times it does make the job messier. And it looks like the way this guy's arm is going to come in. There it goes. Looks like he's choking himself with his arm. It's a really weird pose. And this is about the biggest model I've seen in Guild Ball to go on a 30 mil base. That's a big chunk of metal there. Okay. And then finally, the trophy rack. Just need to take a little bit, teeny little bit of it off. Maybe a little bit more than that. There we go. Okay. But yeah, I'm back. Anyways, after that Ozymandias thing, I'm like, we're going to get in. We're going to go back into Batman. I bought the Suicide Squad 2-player starter kit. Bombshell Harley Quinn, and I'm like, the Harley Quinn, and I'm like, oh my God, I need that. And then, you know, all bad things happened after that. So I make a little dent there with the pin. And pin that all the way through. And we glue this dude in. And that pin is actually sticking too far out on the bottom side, so I gotta trim it again. And is he gonna stand? Yeah, he's gonna stand. Sometimes they lean too far forward, so you gotta be careful at this juncture. Let's put together Theron here. Look at that. I think I have another viewer. You're welcome to Play Painting Live. Let us know what you're painting or what you should be painting. Would normally pipe up at this point so that I can take a sip of sake. That's because that's what I've been doing. Slowly but surely Just drinking a little more sake each time. All right. Drink up. Well, we need to confirm it's a third person and not a bot. Bots are on. Oh, I think he left. Or she. I have a handful of female viewers. Sometimes they get pissed about like what I'm talking about and they leave. I don't know. Actually, I think all my female viewers are super, super cool. So I don't think they get pissed about stuff like that. Look, we're down. We're back down to 2 viewers, so I can't, yeah. So they didn't want me to drink. I mean, we're past the most dangerous part. It's not like I'm going to impale myself now. How does this go? Is it like that? I think it's like that, right? I think he's holding this thing, or is he holding it down? Box, that would help. No, because his pose on the box is totally not the pose that the sculpt is. So that did not help. All right. But I do think, I think it's like a downward, this weird sickle weapon that he has. It's actually a jawbone. It's an animal jawbone, which is kind of cool. And it looks like it has a little bit of flesh on it too, making it more awesome. Okay. And then how's this gonna go? Like that? I think I'm gonna not use the palm leaf. I'll use this. Yeah, that's good. And do like that number, right? Yeah, I'm past all the danger. Well, there's a couple of holes still to drill. See, like that one. That could have gone south. I've bled plenty of times, though. The last time I really, really bled, I was putting together a butcher's team, I believe, which was super fitting. I drilled all the way through. How come it's not? There we go. There we go. Okay. And finally, this young lady here. How does this go? Like this? I think so. This is a super short pin here. One. How does this even go? I have no idea. It's like that. Oh. Oh. This pin is absolutely useless. This is in the wrong. I'm just going to glue it. What a weird fitting. Yeah. Just goes like that. Oh, man. Thought I had it. Goes like that. I need to start my own channel so I can join the fun. Yeah, you should, man. YouTube pisses me off, but I need stuff to watch. It's one of the main reasons why I do this feed, because I have nothing to watch. So I have nothing to watch. I might as well put on my own shit, right? Okay. There we go. Like so. We'll give these a minute to dry. Actually, that putty is super, super soft still. So it looks like the putty's going to take a little bit longer to dry. And I'm going to have to trim. Whoa. Definitely going to have to trim this pin after I put the model in. No, looks like she's okay. Let's just put that there. Okay. I don't want her to lean back too far. Oh, here's what we can do too while we're waiting. Let's pin Carla here. Oh, and of course, since we finished, woo! One more. Sometimes getting at the very bottom of the box is tough. You have to like drink out of the corner. Wow, oh man. Whoa. Yeah, that's starting to kick in, man. All right. Okay. So we'll do one of these cobblestone bases because that's how I do these. And she's got such tiny little ankles. It's going to be an issue. Okay. So this is for Wild in the Streets. It's not a very well-known game, but it's a super cool game. Okay. This game is a locally made game by a guy, a San Diego native named Chris. All right. And Chris he's an older guy like me. I can say that now. I'm an older guy. And so he grew up in the 80s in San Diego, and he remembers like the fringe culture scene from the 80s, and a lot of it is still kind of around today. You know, we're talking about the old punks, the old skinheads, the old crusties, the murder cult girls, basically goths. And he just launched a Kickstarter for the next set for Wild in the Streets to come out, which is going to include roller derby girls, which is awesome. So basically, what this game is, this is modern day, sort of modern day skirmish gang warfare, and it's a super beer and pretzel game. I mean, I look at this as like a miniatures party game. Like if you in everything from record shops to tattoo parlors, okay, just to give you an idea what the whole vibe of this game is. And you know, I would say 85 to 90% of the people that he shows the game to are not miniatures gamers. And then there's guys like me, there's guys like other local guys like Dave that we love the game, and we love the theme of the game. And so we just kind of voluntarily play the game and show it off to people and have fun with it. So, oh man. Yeah, I'm just going to do it all in one swift thing. I don't care. But yeah, it's not like if you were to compare it and to actually like try to compare it to a standard miniatures game and try to evaluate it that way, you're not going to think it's a very good game. It's not really designed to be like that either. I mean, the whole way the game works is like you get a bunch of people together and they like a particular theme or whatever. They build their gang, and this game really kind of thrives off of multiplayer. Like you're going to want a good 3 to 5 people, maybe no more than 5, playing this game. And around a table, build your little city scene, like what you would do for Batman or Walking Dead or something like that. And get them all around there. Get a painted set in front of them. Painted is important, okay? This game is about style and aesthetics. So if you don't paint miniatures or you don't use painted miniatures, this is not going to be a very impressive game. But you get it painted, get in front of them, and then then all the activations and all the upgrades come out as cards, and you shuffle all the cards together. You deploy all the pieces on the board, and deployment's kind of like Relic Knights. There's no zones. You just set all your guys apart a certain distance, and then the game starts, and you just kind of go around the table, and each person will pull a card. They either get an upgrade or they activation of a unit, and when that unit is called upon to be activated, it activates, and it's basically a straight D10 plus stat type dual mechanic. It's as simple as you guys can possibly imagine. Like you can to a miniatures gamer, you can teach the game in about 4.5 minutes. Like that's how simple the mechanics are for this game. All right, let's go ahead and put some things on this. Let's break out the handy dandy gravel thingy. And I'm just going to use some white glue, or some people call it school glue, or literal people call it PVA glue. And I'm just going to put a couple of beads of it down. You could also use Mod Podge if you really want to be super duper fancy, but glue works great. Only, the main thing is you just want to make sure you're getting enough glue down in the crevices, because you don't want to leave holes in the model. Wild in the streets, mild in the sheets. I don't know if that's true or not. I would say I don't think that's true, man. Not with the weird goth girl I dated. Looks like he's getting friends to post for the miniatures. Yes, he is, and and that's why I'm really trying to be his best friend. Like he needs to make a miniature. I don't know what gang I would be in. I would be in the Asian nerd gang of the 80s, because there were a lot of those running around, right? I don't know. Yeah. He gets friends to pose for the miniatures, and they're named after him. And I'm like, dude, like I have a lot of Wild in the Streets. Like I painted 3, 4, 5 whole sets for him for customers, because he's like, dude, I need another 22 miniatures painted, and I whip up a batch of Wild in the Streets and get them back to him, and they work great. They use them for demos. He ships them around the country. They show them at Adepticon. Phil painted the last set from Adepticon. What would my miniature be? My miniature would be super, super useless. You know, like my miniature would be like the Asian version of this, like just fat, weird, sad thing like that. That's what my miniature would be. He would just have just crap rules. He would just be terrible, be slow as hell, just no attack, maybe a little defense because I got a little pudge going, so that would block specific things that way. Maybe I get a toughness save or something. If I have a ranged attack, maybe I'm throwing like painting tools at people or something like that. I don't know. He should do a nerd group though. A nerd group from the 80s would be sick, man. You would have you'd have weird LARPer guys that have actual armor and swords and shit, and you'd have you'd have hobbyists like me that have we got like hobby knives and sharp objects and paint and chemicals and all that kind of stuff. Then you would have who else would be? You'd have like old school hacker guys, like the guys that write MUDs and would hack on their 486 PC. For those of you that know what the hell a 486 PC is, AD&D players, yeah, dude. The old Dungeon Master's Guide. That's a fairly big book. You could hurt people with that book. Screen at them to distract them and shit. There's stuff like that. Doing pretty good. Let's actually use. I want to use a little bit of plastic putty right here on this guy's arm joint. See, this stuff is awesome. Plastic putty is awesome. Just use some these tools to kind of fill in that line there. I'm old. Started playing D&D in 1976 when I was 12. Holy shit, dude. More watchers. That's right. Get a drink. Okay. I need more. You watchers have to pipe up and say you're watching. Because I'm not just doing this shit for well, I am doing this for entertainment. Whatever. All right. Welcome to Play Opinion Live. Come pie, bitches. Oh, wow. Oh, jeez. Oh, my God. More. Woo. Wow. Okay. Okay. We're doing all right. Okay. Ooh. So I know people use, fill gaps. They use liquid green stuff. Liquid green stuff sucks because liquid green stuff shrinks and you get all, and it's just a pain to deal with. It doesn't come in the squeeze tube. You have to, it comes in that stupid GW. Whereas this stuff, plastic putty, comes in a squeeze tube. It doesn't shrink half as much as liquid green stuff does, and it does a great job. I'm going to use it here to fill up this. Yeah, it's looking good. I see him. I am using Vallejo plastic putty. Such a good product, if you can find it. My LGS hasn't had it in months. So I get mad at them, which I really shouldn't, because they're super nice. Like, they have complied with so many things I wanted to do. Like, I'm like, you guys need to carry Vallejo paint, and they now carry Vallejo paint. You guys need to carry airbrush paint. Now they carry airbrush paint. They don't sell any of that stuff. They just sell it to me. And they do it though. Like, so I got to be good to them. I got to be good to my shop. They're awesome. Yeah, I think you probably do have to order it from Amazon. Stuff. Okay, what else do we got? Wow, it's late. So, like I said, night models, just going balls deep into night models. So I painted Ozymandias, and I picked up the rest of the watch. Night Owl is going to be rad to paint. He's so awesome. Comedian. I got Rorschach coming in. Since I've also figured out that I need to buy primer in this size, not in the big bottle, because when you have the big bottle of primer, as awesome as it is, and you think you're getting a value, at some point, you can see kind of the bottom of there, like the primer, it starts to, the solid starts to flocculate. Then it'll powder, and it'll start to spit coming out of your airbrush and all this. So it's kind of sad. How long does it take you to paint a miniature? How many do you paint at the same time? It depends on the quality of the miniature. Like, for example, I'm going to paint these 4 at the same time. Probably take me a combined, from this point on, I'll call it 5 hours, right? But building, as you saw, building took about like almost 90 minutes. So 90 minutes with Saki. So building, priming, and painting. I'm not going to prime tonight because I think the bases are too soft right now. So it's probably not a good time to prime these. I want to really bad. Well, we'll hang out for a little bit. Maybe I can at least get the black primer down on them, and we'll see. If you're talking like lower quality miniatures, then I can go super fast. If you're talking, high quality miniatures, it's going to take a while. If I'm working on one miniature and I'm painting to my typical standard, it's about 90 minutes to 2 hours. Oh, before we forget, speaking of which, where's the dude? Here he is. I need to finish his basing, but let's see if let's work on our focus skills here. Oh, did I? All right, so this is young Theron, and I painted him last week during I had a Guild Ball painting event. He's a really simple paint job, as you can see. His face is pretty cool. Let's see if I can get this to, there we go. So his face has a really cool expression on it. So that was cool. But I need to finish his forest floor base. Here you can see an example of, like, that's what the forest floor looks like when it's done. Sorry, my fingers are shaking. I have that, like, my hands shake like that. And you just learn to work around it. Thank you. But yeah, super fun miniature. And he hasn't been sealed yet, so that's why you've got a little bit of sheen on him. He looks like he's, some of that bouncing off. But so I've got to finish that guy and then paint up the rest of these hunters. and then that's going to go to my client. Oh, here's the other thing that I picked up. So I picked up the rest of the Watchmen because, again, Night Models has me back. Damn them, sculptors and such bad casters. Okay, I did not know this was a thing. Okay, so my LGS does what do I use to seal my miniatures? Typically just dull coat. I just use Tester's dull coat. If it's if I know the piece is going to get beat up, like if it's for my kid, I'll use a satin or a gloss coat and then a dull coat, just so that, you know, it can take a bit of a beating. So my LGS does a mini of the month. It's more like a mini of the quarter. And, you know, you have, is your son teething yet? Mine is driving me fucking mad. Yes, my son has, Darius has 3 teeth in, and he's teething quite a bit. And he's biting mommy on the lovely bits, and it's horrifying to watch. But he's a good kid. Whiskey on a Q-tip. That's worth a shot. Anyway, but he's pretty good. Like, you know, he'll stay up late and cry and all that stuff. But it's like it's not like some of the horror stories I've heard. It's not like all-nighter, you know, want to kill yourself type thing. He's usually pretty good. And my wife has a high pain tolerance because she's married to me. Get it? Yeah. So, anyways, back to this thing. This is named Andolin Bonnerstock, and he's a wizard. And they in my LGS, and they're like, and I was like, "Is this the mini of the month?" And my friend goes, my friend that works there. She's my friend. Okay, she's just a person that works there, but whatever. Yeah, that's the mini of the month. And I kind of looked at it, and I'm like, is it that? It doesn't seem that cool. Like, it's not a pretty boring mini, right? It's like a kind of a, if you want my honest opinion, it's kind of a shitty mini. Like, look at it. It's not just one piece, and it's just a old wizard in a robe and like nothing. There's like nothing going on with this miniature. Just staff. So what? Like, that's the mini of the month? This is boring. Who wants to paint this shit? But she pointed out to me, this is a this miniature is the same miniature that the kid uses in Stranger Things. The kid that, you know, and they play D&D or whatever, and you know, he wants to be the wizard guy. And so it was a big deal, like, oh, it's that exact miniature. And she's like, you need to watch Stranger Things, which I do. I do need to watch Stranger Things because it sounds cool. And she did say, like, it's at the beginning of Stranger Things, so, you know, watch it. And because I'm like, well, I want to see a painted example, and I Googled it instead of watching it because I'm a lazy bastard. So I Googled it and I looked at it, and it was like nothing. Like, the painted example is just like a gray miniature. It wasn't even like, what the F do I do with that? And so, so I'm going to paint this, and I'm going to record it. And I don't know why, though, because there's like nothing. It's just, I don't understand. It's not, I'm not doing that for a while. I'm going to put it away, but like, that would take all of 45 to 60 minutes to paint because there's like nothing on it. I'll probably just go through and like airbrush the base coat, and, you know, to try to make some sort of, you know, make it look cool to some degree. Maybe I'll, I don't know. Maybe I'll do some crazy blending on the ropes or something. So I don't know. We'll see. Like, we keep going from 3 to 4. Like, are they doing that do they want me to? Is that what it is? You just need me to drink more? Is that why? Is that why we're doing that? You can't stop me. I'm just going to continue down this path, people. I tend to what? What up, man? What up, Gata? See, a third person spoke up, so now we got a drink. Oh, man. Oh, God. Jeebus. I love sake, but sometimes, like, you're supposed to sip this sake. You're not supposed to drink it fast. Full sake. Like, this, again, it's like one of my favorite brands, but you shouldn't be. This is sipping sake. You shouldn't be, like, powering this down. So this is what I use when I'm at home, right? I use this thing because this is like the traditional how you should be having sake. When I'm at a convention, oh, I don't have it down here. I think I put it upstairs and I washed it or something. When I'm at a convention, though, I have a stainless folding cup that oh no, here it is. Let me show it to you. All right, drink the rest of this. Fine, I'll drink the rest of it. Kampai bitches. Okay. So that's what I drink out of when I'm at home. Here's what I drink out of when I'm at a convention. You'll see this. Obviously I call it the owl. I love owls, by the way. I don't know why. I think like my Space Marine chapter, I have a Mentor Legion Space Marine chapter because I love the owls. Or Legion 888. It was awesome. And my Batman crew is a Court of Owls because I love owls. Anyways, this is the owl, right? So I always go with the fox and the owl when I'm at conventions. And what this is this is a stainless folding cup, right? So it telescopes out like that. Ew, this needs to be washed. You can see the crud on the inside there. From the last con, Kingdom Con. I got it. Ugh. I'd take it upstairs and I gotta take it upstairs and wash it because that's disgusting. But that's what I use. So anytime you see me at a convention and I've got this on me and I've got the owl, you know what I'm there for. And you will always see that at Kingdom Con. No, I'm not filling that up. I have to wash it. It's awful. I'll wash my hand. I'm not even going to touch my my other sake. That's like gross stuff growing on that. Hold on one sec. I will drink again though. I promise. I'll be right back. I need like a snack or something. Okay. Yeah, what are you guys up to? What are you painting, Gata? You ugh. Are you guys painting? Or are you just here to watch me drink so that you can ask me a bunch of shit? Like, I know that if Canvas is on, he's here to get me to rant about shit. That's kind of what he does. Especially if I've been drinking a little bit. He's gonna hop on, get me to rant about. We keep going from 3 to 4. Who keeps doing that? Somebody's doing that. I mean, I got nothing better to do right now because I'm waiting for stuff to dry. So, no Army Berserker number 2. Nice. Right. Oh, that reminds me. Find a miniature. somebody asked me on the channel. Somebody asked me to paint that Halloween chibi. End up caring about SJW cuts for the most part. Yeah, it's getting kind of old. It's getting kind of old. There's like nothing new or exciting to rant about. All right. Okay, I'm gonna sip. I'm not doing a big. Whew. Jeebus. Yeah. Infinity Crew. What faction are you working on for Infinity? Wow, man, I need something. I need like jalapeno pepper or something. Because I'm not. That's really starting to work now. That's bad. Yeah. Let's see the sake label. Okay, let's do it. Okay. So again, this is one of my favorite brands. Yaga's something Moo. I forget. It's just called Moo, right? MU. And 15% by volume alcohol. But this is the blue label. The black label Moo, which is not good quality. The blue label is really the way to go. It's not cheap, but again, I love sake. I'm gonna, and I want to buy nice stuff. Yeah, this is a filtered sake. Yeah, and I think on the sake scale, this is a +1. So it's just barely a dry sake, but it's super mild. It has a really, really nice aroma to it. And with like filtered and unfiltered sake, I used to do a thing when I was, I guess, more of a drinker, because I'm not really a drinker anymore, except for tonight. I used to have I would have a bottle of filtered sake like that, like Moo or Bride of the Fox or Kurosawa or even Wandering Poet. Like I would have a bottle of that. I'm sorry, 2 bottles. This is how I did it. I'd have 2 bottles of that, and I'd have 1 bottle of unfiltered sake, right? Nigori sake. So, and the way I did it was, you always start with filtered sake. That's good times, right? Because when you're drinking, like the beginning of the evening, you're drinking, you have the good times, right? Because you're starting to get buzzed, people are starting to show up, everyone's having a good time. Those are the good times, right? Then when you start to get around 11:30, 12, later in the evening, then you break out the unfiltered sake. And me and my friends, we'd call this the bad times. Like if you hear Jake, like if he pops on this feed and we start talking about the good time sake and the bad time sake, Nigori, the unfiltered sake, is the bad time, right? So our way through the bad times, because this is when people are starting to get really drunk and more surly, and people are starting to talk shit about each other. Like it's not the prettiest time of night. I'm sorry, but for me personally, if I'm on sake, like I go from, I just tend to stay really happy, and I get really huggy, and I start calling people son. Like everybody's my son when I'm like that, when I'm getting like that. So we power through the Nigori, and then once the Nigori's done, and like the surly drunks are like starting to pass out, and things are starting to calm down, then I'll go back to the filtered sake, and so it's back to good times. So everything, it comes full circle. So it's good times, filtered sake, and then you have Nigori, bad times, and then you go back to good times. So that's what we typically do. So when you hear like you hear my friends, you'll hear them talk about good times, bad times. That's what we're talking about. We're talking about that stage in the evening. That we're the specific type of sake is out. So so yeah, that's typically how it would go. Again, if I'm traveling, I have the owl with me. If I'm at home, I have the box on me. So I don't know why we're going over this. This is like the anatomy of me being drunk. That's basically what happens. You're gonna break out the orphan girl. Japanese sectorial and combined. Oh, JSA's cool. I wanted to do Rice Rocket stuff. There was so many like for Infinity. I had an ALF army. I had the old Shock army. I still want the new Shock army, but want is a strong word. Like kind of want it, not necessarily. There's a fifth person that keeps hopping on. Am I gonna have to drink for the fifth person? Keeps hopping on. Oh, no, there's still a little left. Hold on. Okay, let's do it. Man, my first sake experience was with unfiltered and in a box. So unfiltered sake tends to be very sweet. Nigori is kind of like all right, fine, I'll do it. Nigori it's kind of like alcoholic. I really can't even think. Horchata. That's what it's like. It's like, why are you drinking out of a flower pot? Shut up, Canvas. Damn oppressor. Anyway, oh my god. Okay. Nigori, it's a white sake. It's unfiltered. It just reminds me of like alcoholic horchata, and it's rad. It's sweet. So if you're talking the scale, Nigori sake, it's typically a +7 on that scale. So on the scale, you have the negative side is, wait, am I doing this right? I don't remember. Yeah, the negative side, if I recall correctly, the negative side is more bitter. So the more bitter your sake goes, more it'll be negative. The sweeter it goes, it'll be more positive. So Nigori tends to be +7. I've had a Nigori that was a +11 sake, and that was like straight horchata. Like you're just drinking horchata and you happen to get drunk off of it, which is kind of rad. So, but so as you can tell, I love my sake. Like it's Kampai. Fifth person like needs to say something. Like, why the hell do you keep jumping on? I'm just gonna say it. I think I know who that fifth person is. I think it's Jose. I think it's you, Jose. I'm gonna text you, bastard. Are you? I think he's doing that on purpose. Let me ask this fool. Why do I have a voicemail? Jose, are you watching my feed? Okay, we'll see. I think it's Jose, that bastard. I think it is. If it's not Jose, then it's I don't even want to say. I don't even want to say who it is. She knows her name, bastard. Anyway, let's drink up. Is that what we're going to talk about tonight? We're just going to talk sake? Or is there any, like, I mean, I don't really care. So I got Mansions of Madness that I will paint eventually. I also need to finally finish these X-Men, right? Cyclops has been sitting here for who knows much. Like, this does not take a long time to paint this or this, right? I'm just going to paint these two dudes and then just drop them in. And I'm just going to drop this. Whoa, settle down. And then I'm just going to drop the set on eBay, right? Because you guys saw Rogue last time. So Rogue and Colossus have just been sitting here. Colossus actually probably needs he needs a retool. Like he needs more shadow. I'm gonna have to I'm gonna have to continue to ink him a little more so I get more shadow out of him. Whoo! You feel drunk now. What's a good base for Infinity Sci-Fi miniatures? Well, I use that. I use Random Metal Plate personally, but there's a lot of these are really cool and worth considering if you want to. These are base crowns from Tectonic Craft Studios. So if you don't want to like mess around with a base stamp, or you don't want to buy a resin base because those get expensive, these MDF base crowns are actually pretty sweet. And as you can see, it's actually, this is more like a 25 millimeter base. So you could just use that actually as the base. So I would recommend something like that. Or just use a base stamp. Now the problem with the base stamp on those beveled round bases is they can spill over the side. But I really haven't had that problem with them, again, because on those beveled bases I tend to go really thin. I do like a really, really thin piece of resin on there. So let's look at some more unfinished shit that's on my desk. What was that again? Oh, let me show it to you. Okay, I'm still coherent enough to talk. So, because like when I get really drunk, I shut off. Like it's not really a form of passing out. I just shut off, and then I eventually pass out. But I lose memory of what I did. They have to tell me what I did, and I think half of them make shit up. So I don't even know. Anyway, Tectonic Craft Studios, TCS. Okay, they make really cool bases. They sell them. Let me see. I have some. I think I have an example. Oh my gosh. If I stood up right now, I would stumble. Here we go. Look at this. Look at the composure, people. Look, let me show it to you. I got this. Ready? Bam, right there. Tectonic Crafts. Wait. Tectonic Crafts Studio, right? Tectonic Crafts Studio. Okay. And they come in like the bases like these, and you just punch them out. These are broken wood planks, which are kind of nice. I was doing fish in these before. Oh my God, we got another viewer. Damn it. All right. Kanpai, other viewer. Oh my gosh. Okay. Oh, I'm still good. People, we are hanging in there. New Kids on the Block, hanging tough, damn it. That's a really, really awful, embarrassing reference, and I don't give a shit. I'm like motherfucking Gambit on the booze. I'm gonna take your word for it, because Gambit. I think what's that dude's name? Channing Tatum. He wanted to play Gambit in the X-Men movie so bad. He really, and I don't know how I feel about it, because like the X-Men movies, they're not so good. I'm just gonna tell you, like they're not very good. Superhero movies are not very good. I'm just saying. Can you guys hear me? Or they're not. They're not very good. I'm sorry. I hear Wonder Woman's good. Like I was watching some of the Wonder Woman, like the preview stuff for Wonder Woman. I'm like, that's probably pretty damn good. Like the fight scenes are probably pretty good, but there's, from what I'm told, it's a fairly vanilla, hero origin movie, which is okay though. Like sometimes you need to just, people too much, and you need to just go back to basic stuff. and so that's cool. He is too buff for Gambit. Channing Tatum is too buff for Gambit. You're right. Yeah, Gambit's he's kind of like a sinewy. He's lean and like TCS is. Yeah, they're good people too. Like they make for Kingdom Con, they make cool custom badges. And when I was staff for Kingdom Con, I don't know why I was staff for Kingdom Con. I think it's because I'm fun. I'm a fun drunk. I am. Um, they used to make like custom badges, and I broke mine last year because I was too drunk. Because I'm a dumbass. That's how that worked. But I don't know. He is. I. If you could somehow figure out how to use like Harry Connick Jr.'s voice, and then use somebody else's body for Gambit, that's kind of what you could do for Gambit. I think that would be kind of cool because Harry Connick Jr. kind of has that like Southern Cajun thing going, but he's totally wrong, like physically wrong for Gambit. I don't know. They could probably figure it out. Maybe make him lose a bunch of weight. I don't even want to say that thought that just went past my mind out loud. I'm drunk. Like you could use a skinny I was thinking you could use like a skinny Matthew McConaughey as Gambit. Like he was super skinny in the whatever, the Buyers Club, Texas something club, whatever club. Like you could use him for that. I still don't like Matthew McConaughey. I do not like Matthew McNugget guy. I don't like him. I don't like him. He has weird hair. I don't like that dude. Bikes with Lance Armstrong, right? Lance Armstrong did all that. Did all them roids and shit to win them things. I don't know. I just don't trust driving his Lincoln around and shit. Judging people for not driving a Lincoln. Like, I don't understand. He's awesome in True Detective. How weird. He does. He has weird hair, man. I don't understand. Like, he's got that curly hair that only sticks like to the back of his skull. Like, I don't get it. Whatever. I don't know. Whatever. Matthew McConaughey. Like, he's trying to be the serious actor. Like, I gotta give it up. He's trying to be a serious actor. I don't know, man. Like, I'm not on board. I don't understand. Yeah, I'm a judgmental bastard. That's like, if you haven't figured that out by now, I'm really, really judgmental. You should see, like, my wife and I, like, we'll watch like Miss Universe and shit together. Like, we'll watch stuff like that, and it's just awful. Like, bad. Like, we're bad people. Like, these are like some of the most beautiful women in the world, and we're like judging. But everybody does it. We're just better at it, you know. Whatever. I don't know. Yeah. So, unfinished projects on my desk. I don't understand what to do about them, but we'll get to it. I still have sake left, so we're just gonna continue. Oh, you're talking about McConaughey judging people driving his Lincoln around town, and you get to hear all of his stupid thoughts. Bourbon to drink, yeah. Well, I'm telling you guys what kind of sake to drink. Well, not really. I'm not telling you. I'm just telling you what I like for sake. I like sake. In case you haven't noticed. Oh, whoa. Oh my gosh, there's another person that hopped on. This is bad. I think you guys are just telling more people to hop on so that I have to drink more. Right? I think that's what this is. I'm going to pass the F out, man. This is going to be bad. Okay, fine. We will drink some more have a chaser or something. I don't know. Oh, whatever. There, we were at 7 and we were at 5. You drink Angel's Envy. I have something like a dozen figures on my table, Xenophil Prime, working on all of them while I put off the rest of my no army. You want to? I'll tell you who I feel really bad for. That's on my. Well, hold on. Are we going to get to 7? Do we get to 7 viewers or? I don't know. We're going to continue. Shit. We're doing a good job knocking out this Saki though, for sure. Woo! Okay, Kampai. Oh man. I'll show you who I feel bad for. Because I got stuff on my desk. Kind of cool, but it's kind of sad. Like this is a miniature I got from Mr. Dandy Wargamma, who does awesome work. And this is like a scarab thing, right? And I painted this years ago, and it's just sitting here. But it's cool. It's got like a little patina on it. My son loves this thing. Ends up like tearing it off the base, and he's like, "I'm sorry, Daddy, but I love it." Like he loves this thing, but it just sits there on my desk because he loves it. Who else? Here we go. Who's all right? So you're drinking too. Okay, good. Orphan Girl Cream Bourbon. Promise myself only take out a few at a time. Okay, so here's the other one I feel really bad for, right? Because like she's actually in decent shape. This is one of those Kingdom Death pinup models. She looks kind of upset. Let me see if I can get this to focus. Like in the face, she looks a little upset, right? She's a little mad. And I would be mad too. Like she has been sitting on my desk for 5, maybe 6 months. Okay. And she has one job. This lady, she has one job. And her job is to test the different flesh schemes that I experiment with. So if I'm experimenting with a flesh scheme, I will paint this model and just the skin. She didn't even get like I haven't even done her clothes. Like she just gets the skin and I see if it works or not. Because if it's going to work on Kingdom Death, it'll work on anything, right? Kingdom Death is so beautiful. And I keep telling her, like I talk to her, like I will finish you. I will finish you. But for now, you have to tell me, like, is the skin going to work? It's like pinkish skin. You can see how like red this skin tone is. I use this for I was using this for Relic Knights, and I was using it for like when you have a female miniature, you like to do like really rosy skin like that. So you might, for example, you might do that type of skin on Thin Lizzy here. Another model that's been sitting on my desk forever. But yeah, so that's kind of her job until at such point I'm just going to finish her. And I feel so bad. I think I'm going to give her away. I don't think even when I finish her, she's not going to want to be here. Like she's not going to want to sit in one of my miniature bags. Like she's going to want to like be with an owner that's going to appreciate her. I don't know why the hell I'm humanizing a miniature, but I do that shit all the time. Count by. Look, we're down to 4. People left. Might not drinking fast enough. I don't even know. I don't know. I have to. Oh shit! I gotta get up super early tomorrow. Gotta take my kid to the dinosaur thing. That's like super early. All right, last one. Last one. Oh my god. I will play her in my SOBH skirmishes. What does that mean? BH. Hold on. There's just a little bit left. Ugh. Yeah. I'm going to pass out. That's what's going to happen. I'm going to pass out. That was a lot of sake. That was like way. You shouldn't do that. Oh, Song Blades and Heroes. Sweet. I want to, yeah. I want to learn that system because Fistful of Kung Fu uses that system, right? It's very similar. Totally want to do that because that's good. I don't know. That's it, man. I think that's as far as we're getting. If I drink any more, no, I'm totally gonna pass out. I don't know. It's gonna be awesome. Alexa, set alarm 6 a.m. Yeah, you hear that? Back. She's awesome. If you don't have an Alexa, an Amazon Dot or one of those, like an Apple one is, like they're awesome. Like robot, like you can, I don't know, it's like 4 or 5 steps removed from the sex bot. So, but Alexa's like useful. Like she can tell me, like she'll tell me this my work schedule. She can tell me like what meetings I have that day. She can tell me what the weather's like. She can tell me winning lotto numbers. Alexa, am I good looking? Yeah, did you hear her? She said I'm sure you look great. See? Like you can even get self-esteem from Alexa. You need that. You need that. You can walk in and ask Alexa to play any song. Shit, but which I do. I don't know why. But you can walk in here. You can literally walk into this room, paint miniatures, and ask Alexa to play whatever the hell you want. Any song. Like any song. Like I can like I can ask for Alexa, play the Chicken Cow. Wow. Never mind. She got mad. Alexa, play the Chicken Cow. Yes. See, Alexa's going to play Wesley Willis because I said the Chicken Cow. And who doesn't like the Chicken Cow? You can have Alexa like play Rock and Roll McDonald's for you. You can have that I have with Alexa is my babysitter is also named Alexa. I know I did. Yeah. So you got to be firm though. You got to be firm with Alexa. It's the thing. Okay, I'm gonna tell you some weird shit right now. Alexa, stop. I can't have Alexa like playing the Chicken Cow. I'm just gonna tell you guys some weird shit. All right, some weird shit. Okay, so yeah, I don't even remember. Fuck. Yeah. So okay, I'm not gonna. I can't get too specific. But anyway, like I will tell you that like firmness thing, that like like being firm, like that shit works. That's all I'm gonna say. And I'm not. I will also say like I'm not. Yeah. Wow. I can't say anything. It's awful. Wow. See, I still have restraint. I'm fairly drunk right now, but But we're down to 3 people watching because people know like this is going downhill super fast, right? This is it, man. We're like we're just toasty. But we did shit. Like we starting to get fairly firm. Like if I wasn't about to pass out, I could actually prime these. But there's your vet hern, right? There's like angry knife guy with cool face. Here's wolf thing, wolf guy, and then here's the captain, the female captain, and then we've got Carla. We'll paint Carla at some point. All right. Anyways, because I got to get up in 6 hours according to Alexa, right? So, anyways, that's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna, you know what I'll tell you what I'm honestly gonna do right now is I'm gonna look at some shit, and then I'm gonna. Yes, I finished building my 5 miniatures, which is sad because I used to build a lot faster most of the time, but you know, I also didn't drink while I was doing it, so I could usually go a little bit faster than that. Yeah, so let's just call it, man, because I'm tired. I got a few things to thanks. Yeah, hopefully you guys got something from this, because guys, that's gonna do it. Drink water before sleeping. I know. I gotta go upstairs. I'm gonna stumble the F all of. I need salt too. A burrito is what I need. I need a burrito with like jalapeno peppers. Man, I need something spicy. We don't even keep salsa in this house, too. I'm gonna find it. I will find shit. I will find it. Okay, you guys are going. You guys are leaving. Anyways, thanks for watching, everybody. We'll catch you on the next